Mame fa say ma Pen Dream TV. Pen Dream TV de osia dem yopo.
Hey, abusha for sa na ene de Kevin Taylor wapa eye GPRTU for ehontoma nkasa. Hey, enti sa na Ghana eye transport system na say congestion na ko bahonom na pressure akoba honum ni nyina sa na eye GPRTU for mpanyifo eta akiri ena omoye mafiarism abusia na ene Kevin Taylor awurawura issues nu wonuma wo so expose omo MPP for mpanyifo eka ho wonuma na omoye ba omiankrofo na omuwu mu a omososo eye boni. In fact a whole lot of secret and away EDP. My person ebe ko na yakutie Kevin Taylor. The choir of faso expose a young crowfree and a choir Professor Nana Jean and no so a kasa ye with nyansani nim diemu ne choir mobile faso me resolve this problem wina. Abusia for choir MPP for Efa so she ayalulu basis and 9 baku and 9 wukumase obra omulusu elections na abusa and then yina Kevin Taylor abibim yanko na yankoti aha Pen Dream TV. Best also be subscribe to the channel, like the video, no na share to other platforms MIN. Pen Dream TV yes Adam yopo abusa yankoti nkomo bra.
GPRTU denies creating bus shortage, blames traffic congestion for delays. Yenina can say, car and wakwa chino, and yet problem in free baby bako. Are buying our responsibilities to solve a problem. And today I saw the Vice President, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman, echo a year the local government officer Okohun Ayalolu for telling them that the government is doing everything possible to make sure, say, the new buses are back. And she advised Ghana for, especially those who will be in charge of the buses, that we are supposed to keep them well. We are supposed to try and make sure, say, we do a lot of maintenance and also keep the buses in good state. And I really appreciate the Vice President for taking this step. And this Vice President has been very, very active recently. She's been working hard. She's not been sleeping. We all know the president is out of town, taking care of business. The vice president, at this point, Ghana Fumpo Enim said John Mahama ni Ghana. The way the vice president is working, the way the government machinery is working, it's interesting. The vice president has played a role. President Tukwaina or Sakoya other businesses for the nation. Ayana Yerim Pwefisa President Tukwain. Because this woman is on point. She's doing the job. She's not blinking. When I say I've already 52 years, the woman has so much energy. She's all over the place. She's entering everywhere, monitoring everything, making sure things are done right. This is the kind of vice president we want. And yet a comedian who is fooling himself all over the place and thinking, say, Mamenka Bibina Nipanse, this woman speaks with a lot of intelligence behind it. You can see, say, she picks her words well. She is not a politician. She's doing something today thinking, so opportunity watchna. She's doing it because it's her responsibility. And Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman over these few months, what she say, she's one vice president, with all due respect. What she say, and I am seeing it in her, the energy, the way she's able to make sure say, things are stable. President in Ghana, the President John Mahama, he's out. He's going to Switzerland, the World Economic Forum. He's there working hard, trying to have bilateral meetings to bring more investors to Ghana, try to convince the countries that have enough money to come and invest in Ghana. He's selling Ghana out there. The Vice President is delivering. And on say, right now, I am Shishenwo. I say your confidence you are buying him. President no cry or confidence. Vice President too, Quina President which your confidence. I just say we are not worried about anything again. Just say enyansa fo ne aban papa ba. Omo amunimu nyansa, omo kasa, omo ye bibia, omo de nyansa to ho a omo dwene oman no ho no. Right now we are seeing the difference between impenifo any Jimmy for and in Penifon are changing things in Ghana. Now, GPRTU denies creating bus shortage, blames traffic congestion for delays. And the GPRTU for buses na be in town na trotro na yenyina yenyebino because of traffic. GPRTU for mon can correct. Deliberate. Me say the air question. As much as say abaya a bus so MPP abayin deliberately almost say buses near the adeno. The GPRTU too is sabotaging the government. Deliberate. How many drive upon IS adeno? And what they are doing in England say almost per se because there are still people in the GPRTU are how many GPRTU know your politics. Yeah, MPP for you be go abandon them say. The issue here is that sa GPRTU for we almost cannot create. One time, almost spare parts born ding. The next time, almost say petrol and sebio yehu price in ye. I feel almost say traffic will chrome do entina cars in yehu. GPRTU for no bois. Problem I facing no Accra with transportation. Say Aban is struggling to get enough buses in the system, all because the MPP Musketeers, they came to destroy the state's transport area and sector. GPRTU for nim that we have a deficit when it comes to government buses. The omo deliberate. Yeah. When we same way and the bako ekotena a city ana a channel 1 TV.
There are concerns also that some drivers under GPRTU, because they want to maximize profit, have now resorted to what they refer to as short distances. So, for example, they are going from point A to point B or point D, but they'll stop at B, suggest that you have to pay a different fare even though the final destination is D. I'm sure these concerns have come to you as an association. What are your responses to it?
It is not true. This is coming from GPRTU. I've told you we have some laws governing the transport industry. No GPRTU member, because every GPRTU union is with their leadership, who allow their people not to load to where they are supposed to go and be loading anyhow. No union will allow that. It is the floating drivers.
How do you identify them?
Yes, because we have our members and we make sure if you are supposed to load from La Paz to Accra, we have a station also who loads from La Paz to Circle. They might not allow you to pick their passengers. You too might not allow them to pick their passengers. That is how the system is. You pick your people, we also pick our people. So we know the floating cars also, who doesn't belong to the unions, who just run just by the main road, have somewhere turn around and be picking on the main road as well. This is how we identify that this issue comes from the floating drivers. They don't belong to any society or group. One floating driver can start the journey from Kaswa. It will come to Circle. When it gets to Circle, then it turns to Tema. From Tema, it will come to Medina. Medina, it will go to Dodua. So this
really?
Yes. So
those are the ones creating the problem.
Yes. So these are the short people. But any union member who is supposed to load from a particular place to a particular place, there's no way you could be ignoring where you are supposed to go. Don't forget that those union members who load, they are the sympathizers. They are the people, because if you are to load from, say, Accra to Amasama, you are supposed to load those people going to St. John's, Ofanko, Pokwase. They have to join your yes. Yeah. So you serve all these people. But here is a case, these people will just from Circle come to Achimata, from Achimata.
But how do we identify them? So, for example, how do we know?
I am in the business.
How do we know that this structure is an association member and this is a floating driver?
I am in the transport business.
So you can tell
you how the system works.
Let me tell you. As someone is simple. GPRTU, omni how to solve this problem. And remember, yani ama GPRTU, abe GPRTU unions na kabum, associations, Mata Eco Drivers Association, Madina Drivers Association, and omni kabum so abedani a union. GPRTU any ultra serious group bia. If today GPRTU you collapse na Ghana, your transport sector, because they will all break away. When all these drivers associations all break away, there's no union again. Now they are all canon. You see, some more union members. Why are we not identifying the union members? I'm talking about the cars, GPRTU cars. And I'll tell the transport minister, with all due respect, say, sit with GPRTU members and tell them that every GPRTU member, their car, they should write it in front of their car. GPRTU. Every commercial vehicle, a member of the or part of the union, a GPRTU member, they should write it on the side of the car that GPRTU number 007. They should give all their cars numbers and also write the GPRTU boldly on it. Send we the passengers, yani customers, we can differentiate between floating cars and GPRTU cars. Send sa floating cars na orbano all can one when they come to 37 to come and load. We, the passengers, will know this is not a GPRTU car and that the price they are taking, we are not going to take it. And if a floating car comes and is taking lower than GPRTU car, the police can arrest them because then they are making it difficult for the GPRTU guys to get customers. The transport minister, the local government minister, sit with GPRTU. So almost a problem we in free or more. We will get to the bottom of it. Every commercial car biano, they have some writings on it, bold writings. They have bold writings. Somebody is suggesting they should have digital barcode. That one, there, you are making it too advanced. For now, immediately, every GPRTU member, Okan Union, they have to write the GPRTU boldly. CBI metro transport, good metro transport bus one. Onam Chrome, na there is another basa, it is a metro massa, yan chungu, nubo so when ye a banker. GPRTU for and making sure say, Oma tro GPRTU no, kesiye egu trotro biahon. Egu omu union members biaka ka yan chungu huno, that means you don't work with GPRTU. And that stage na 37. Na saka no be offload the passengers. Na catcher say etwaso akwadenta. We all can tell the driver, you better match the driver not number police. Say you are not a commercial vehicle. You are not part of the GPRTU. It's GPRTU for Ochna. You people should have a meeting. The transport minister, the local government minister, call GPRTU to the table and tell them, our passengers want to differentiate between your members and the illegal trotro drivers in the system. So what we want you people to do is put a law out there and tell every union member or a commercial vehicle or a member of GPRTU or dues say, write GPRTU on the side of your car boldly and in the front of your car. Send a passengers who a car way air bar where GPRTU yedim somebody omo 7 cities. GPRTU omo faha enkosiha. GPRTU, we can protect this car. Send your beya, we are say enyamo and who created this problem. So the transport minister, I am personally going to find your number and call you. This has to be done. We need to be able to differentiate between criminal trotro drivers and GPRTU members. That is the only way I would say ampa GPRTU for airboa. Because right now, we cannot tell GPRTU, no. Every day you will sit on TV and tell us that you know nothing about this. Your members are trying. How do we differentiate between your members and those who are non-members? And when you go to South Africa, when you go to some countries in Africa, even in Europe, Asia, say a commercial vehicle, say a part of a union. Obaba, there is a when you go to New York, we have the yellow cap. When it comes to DC here, you're the red caps, right? You need to identify GPRTU cars. Send the okay say we a commercial vehicle. Now we a member of GPRTU. There is a specific heading color e was so can ye. Say mon person mo betia say yen change car color sir. Then write the GPRTU boldly on the cars. Write the GPRTU shown boldly on the side of the cars and the front and the back. And then add a code and number to it. GPRTU Adenta 101. Yedim say car we there. A member of GPRTU. The station will Adenta or a car number 101. Into driver a passenger before. Now on the driver didn't have problem. Now the driver can report this car and say me for GPRTU Adenta 101 or Jimmy 7 cities Esimo Kwanso one for man bedru may report no. We need to identify these cars because you people basically you are extorting from us too much. GPRTU, you are extorting. You have no identity. We are going to give you people identity. We are going to give you people identity in Ghana. We are going to force you to write GPRTU. Now, Metro Mass yatrogu ho, VIP yatrogu ho. Adentina aya GPRTU mo person betrogu ho. Ayalolo yatro ayalolo egu ho. Adentina GPRTU kwa mo person betro GPRTU egu mo cars ho. Because mo bi mo yakromfo. Because you are taking advantage of the people. Inti sa mo kase mo mpenia na mo ye wifuo no. And I will plead with the transport minister, give the GPRTU leadership a call, let them come and tell them Ghanaians want to identify your cars. Inti sibia yewo Metro Mass ayatrogu Metro Mass on kakraka no. Sibia yewo VIP a ye nyina ye hu VIP bus a enyo bi mpo de beka kire VIP bus na ekono. Sibia yewo ayalolo na yatrogu no ye pese VIP eye GPRTU cars. You throw GPRTU no boldly on it. You pese ujine even a mile from the car. Ube wants a car way a GPRTU a anajo a wio. We should write it with white paint. White paint. GPRTU. Adenta 101. GPRTU. Dansuman 17. GPRTU. Matayeko 12. GPR because moi mo join GPRTU nya ye ni be ya mo cars free moma ye hu. You cannot sit in Ghana and tell us to say yeah GPRTU ye nim the ekoso no ye cars ne de yeah we cannot identify the criminal cars. There are some floating cars. We don't want to deal with floating cars again. We want to deal with you GPRTU. And Professor Nano Pokwajiman eko the local government officer Osako Sra Ayalolo for no. The the boss of Ayalolo making some revelation be
Now in 2016 November thereabout the NDC government procured 245 buses to help ease congestion in Greater Accra and to enhance urban mobility to the extent that you could easily come and park your respective vehicles at our various terminals and join the yellow buses to your respective places to trade or for any business that you want to go by. 2016, everything was fine. 2017, everything was fine. 2018, 2019, they're about there. When the NDC government lost power and the new administration then came to take over, under the then Ministry for Transport, 60 of those new buses were sent to Kumasi, specifically in Ashanti region. Some of the buses were also sent to Tamale, others were also sent to Takrade. And the others were left in Greater Accra for the operation of the BRT. Once we say BRT, bus rapid transport, it meant that you must go at a top speed. You must have special design corridors for which these buses could apply. So if you apply a particular route and we have designated routes specifically for these buses, it makes it easier to get to your destination without necessarily being caught in the normal traffic. So in 2016, 2017, we never had these issues until later on that the previous government gave a directive that those designated dedicated lanes could be used by any private user. And that started the trouble. What that meant was you could have millions of buses, but because they did not have dedicated lanes, they would also be caught in the normal traffic. So you'll be crying for 1 million buses. The buses are brought, but they are stuck in traffic to the extent that it is defeating the purpose for which they were brought. And that is the BRT, the bus rapid transport. So somewhere around 2018, thereabout there, when they started sending some of these buses to those areas, the system actually collapsed. Thank God, the very government that actually gave birth to the BRT system and the 240 buses is back. And that is the main reason why we are trying as much as possible to revamp the BRT system in Greater Accra. And it is for that reason that we have, with the permission of my sector minister, we have gone for the 60 buses that were sent to Kumasi to be brought under the management of GPRTU in terms of accountability, how much is being spent, how much is being realized in terms of revenue. So as I'm talking to you right now, with assistance and then the help of our sector minister, we have been able to get those buses back to the management of GPRTU, together with the buses that we also sent to Takoradi, to be brought to beef up the operation of Ayololo buses in Greater Accra. Again, most of our terminals were taken away. I can speak of Kanswa Terminal. I can tell you in authority, in all humility, that we have also reclaimed that 4-acre terminal. Because like I said earlier on, the buses were brought together with the terminals for which you could easily come and park your respective vehicles and join. Adenta, Kimbu, Amasaman, and then Pokuase, we have been able to reclaim or take back all those terminals in order for us to operate these buses. Again, if you look at the very year these buses were brought, 2016 up to now, it's about 10 years about there. That tells you clearly that the buses are aging. And then these buses are also relying on fuel. So the good news is that it takes 70% of our operational costs for the payment of fuel on these buses on daily, and I can mention figures here. And for the avoidance of that, we are going for electric buses, for which my sector minister, together with myself and the deputy, we had tried as much as possible to go for a grant from the Spanish government, for which we are still on it. And then I'm pretty sure somehow next month about there, we should be able to get a no objection letter from the Ministry for Transport. And once that one is hard, then we'll be able to push, yes, Ministry for Finance. And once that one is hard, then we'll be able to push our matters through in order for us to get the electric buses. Challenges, as usual, we do not get any subvention, neither do we get any money anywhere. It is the little money that we take from passengers. And we charge, on record, we charge about 70%, 20% lower than normal fares that you have. So for that to take you to town for 10 Ghana cedis, we probably would take like 7 Ghana cedis. And it is out of these monies that we use to pay our staff, to buy fuel, to maintain all these vehicles without getting any money anywhere. Yes. And as I'm talking to Ayololo, we have tried as much as possible. Now you can see most of these Ayololo buses are also having Waka Now, other companies being advertised on them. I don't know whether you have them as a media. It is one of our innovative means of getting money to pay for the fuel. And that's the main reason, since I took over, we have tried to have, right now we have about 4 or 5 companies that are advertising on our buses, and it's giving us very good money to pay for our salaries together with other expenditure.
So in conclusion, 25, how many are down there?
So the Ghana one, 11.
11.
Yes, 11.
Out of the 245, 10 years ago, 11 are not road.
Yes, they are not.
The rest are all road.
Yes.
And they are all moving.
Under maintenance. They are 28 under maintenance. Yes, and then with the 11, let me add. Yes, let me add. It is critical that when NDC one. Yeah, they bent. I think they bent one of the. Yeah, 4 bent. Yes, in Kumasi.
Yeah, 6 or 4.
4. It's 4. It's 4. Remember, I told you that 60 buses were sent to Kumasi. 4 have been bent. So they are all part of the 11 grounded buses that I'm talking of. So
So basically, this is what happened when the vice president visited Ayalolo. The local government minister was there. The deputy transport minister was there, Dr. Afotefe, and then we had the route minister, the transport minister himself. He was also there, and the Ayalolo CEO was explaining. Oh, see, the better I did compare AI as a film. 2017, 2016, and NDC ja Ayalolo buses the ma buying way. Create specific routes and I say a choir you travel buses we say any friend of fast buses and I say rapid buses no send a bay mundi traffic him 2017 na ejumane koso 2018 echo ena eye NPP abang bus lanes na ye de ama Ayalolo no say omomfa soro send a bay mumbi traffic him into obi ko eye dodowa obetumi akontem no NPP by 2018 wana omuchika said abi yesiano sa kwan no trotro to me faso bicycle to me faso timaka to me faso enti the purpose inti na BRT Ayalolo buses ne buy no near defeat purpose no it from 2018 Ayalolo no how effective it was from 2016 no it came down because technically omo ejuma de nyina so obetu nipa cobra contemporantem ya cut that thing off enti Ayalolo so abadane to say any regular edian trotro into Bakona Ayalolo so edi traffic him. That is 2018. Now no can say me or say omu dedicate parking spot and as a parking areas emankofo omu person omu fa Ayalolo into be all tetema. Na onim say Ayalolo for ahana ejina otumi eko Ayalolo for the create parking lot obetuma parking a car ho ebia from the fie to Ayalolo stop no ebia 3 miles. Maybe 4 kilometers. Into Oba no the car na be so parking the fine. Security wo now for Ayalolo no the court. 2018 ba na NPP for eka se mo bia use parking lot no the bank of 4. Enti one yakati off route and I say route no faso no emane easy, accessible, faster kind of transportation no NPP for shutting it down. And a parking lot no so ade bi wo car so ade ade no NPP for esa gu no so ka ho. Now, the worst thing in the say, bus na MPP for beto ye no. Omo yi bus no do no because say Ayalolo no technically no na a ye pilot project na John Mahama NDC aban no e dey check how they can expand it nationwide. Now, Oba Ghana pa ope baby traffic wo pa o Ghana e yen crying. Into the number of Ayalolo buses e dey buy no, they were stationed in Accra. They wanted to use Accra as a pilot. Send a bear to me. The Accra and the start Ayalolo na say ebeye perfect we can extend it nationwide because Osha Ghana sibi atiena Accra pa na traffic war anything na omu create Ayalolo lanes omu create bus stops for Ayalolo because they were trying to see say in the next 5 7 8 9 years no say ebeye perfect we can now move on to other cities traffic near less and it will be easy to implement the Ayalolo service no. Now what happened was buses no MPP ba power no betam Ayalolo no about 60% of the buses omno kogu Kumasi and omu yi bi eko Takrade and omu yi bi so called other places. Those places, to be very fair with you, the number of buses eko no they didn't need it because the traffic na one cry no and then no bi na wo Kumasi. The traffic na one cry no and then no bi na wo Takrade. Traffic na one cry no and then no bi na wo Srim. Inti sa wotam bus nko 60 buses na kogu Kumasi. Then what are you trying to do? That it means Jumadi na Ayalolo also didn't want cry no. Yenina de biaka say Accra is congested. Yenina say Accra is choked. Yenina say transportation is Accra is tough no. MPP ba power no time 60 buses go Kumasi. Now there ya wom ni nyina say. Or say buses no Omo ba power way a year 2024 5 yi and omo recall is our buses in Monsan Famra. Now majority of the buses now say. Now the na rem woman say about 4 buses the day na NDC winning power 2024 no e was santimem no ayalolo bus omo twaja to ni 4 buses omo hye ni na. How? And it's on record. Day na John Mahama winning elections for Ghana no. Ayalolo buses na wo Kumasi and e recall say ebi mra na fan start ayalolo ni biem no. Day na John Mahama win election no and 9 omo twaja to omo hye no Kumasi. Adentira MPP lose power. And sometimes you ask yourself, say, how did we get here? O party lose power. Inti aban bases na e wo say be ye dwuma maye no. O ti Ashanti region we twagya tum. Ure fi say wonu bi wo nkran. Oba bi eco school won kran. Wobusheni bi beba nkran. Ena wankasa so beba nkran a. Sebio enya car na obe driver ba. Obefa commercial vehicle. Obedru nkran a. Ure fi say u movement no. Inti day na John Mahama wini no. Bas no sa and 9 omu twagya to omu hye grebulization. Yeka se ade bi ahye a 1 but yeka se bibia hye grebu a che se grebulization e kire se one fa pin ahye grebu ye twagya tum ehye no e Kumasi Ashanti region. Why? And it's so interesting. Unim da some esi time Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman e call ayalolo ende sa revelation we buy no. GPRTU for Kohobi. Now the GPRTU for your mom chances on Casarin Masom Kaye. GPRTU for say a bank budget momo. GPRTU for Padipe Nabutra. Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman echo ayalolo transport minister oho, deputy oho, local government minister oho, vice president Nana Opoku-Agyeman enso etewono. GPRTU for your from some mra. Omo baya omo de omo so amasem ne say. Omo person the president is na president twa budget momo association no.
What we are currently having, the issues we were having and contending from 2023 and 2024 seems to be repeating itself. Whenever there's a budgetary allocation and then they go to share, they allocate how much they'll give to Metro Mass, how much they give to STC, and forget us. Now, this issue was hard hit, so we had to go and approach Callistus and said that all our letters to have a meeting with the president had not yielded the results. So he agreed that for the whole of August, he was so busy, he will go to travel. But he slated 10th September for us, and really we met His Excellency the President. That meeting, we had tabled issues there to meet him and discuss. And among them was the buses they had brought to us from Egypt were highly compromised in terms of quality. What we went there as a delegation and inspected and was brought was to what was given to us. The engines, which were 6-cylinder engines, were inspected, came down as 4-cylinder engines. The axle width and then the air conditioning motors were all compromised. So it didn't yield the results it was supposed to have yielded. We mentioned this to him. And again, we said that our problem is that from where we had met in 2016, I'm talking now, all the cars are now old. People complain. And like I did mention earlier before, Your Excellency, is that most of them will work one day, tomorrow they will not work. They're all at the shops. And then somebody in his publication will say, we have created an artificial shortage. Like Alaji said, who will go and park his car to create that shortage and go and sleep?
Me say GPRTU for almost per budget. Yan tam sika mo GPRTU for no. And you know what the GPRTU they do? Because majority of the leadership, anything a GPRTU for a drum elections are a bloody. You know why? It is basically a cash cow to be a leader in the GPRTU. The reason is that the moment of a leader in the GPRTU, no, who cast 50, they are put at hotspots to work for you. Into that position, GPRTU position, no, it has become like president position. Because the moment you become a Ubenya position or you become a leader in the GPRTU, you basically control the transport sector somehow. Now, strategy omo yɛ say they find ways to undermine government buses. It does not matter the buses the government will bring to Ghana. GPRTU will never see anything good in those buses. Because what they want to do, they want to first create the impression, say, Abain the buses be a bar, and ya papa. Why should we work with Abain? Why should we allow Abain buses? It does not matter the buses you will bring. GPRTU will fight against any government, all because they want to discourage the people from even patronizing Abain buses. And a union, a cluster of associations coming together to form a union, are telling us to say, at this point where we are in a crisis, I was say, Yanyankasa Krampon, Yakope grant, I was Spain, and your Busiao, Yawakacha Spain for so almost Kebi Omonfanchaye. Now you phantom more buses, a whole country, you copy grant. GPRTU say, yes, you can have more, no more ding. We should give them a budget. All because Yama Metro Mass budget to buy, you just come Metro Mass, you just come ayalolo. I didn't know GPRTU, yen just come momo. Now GPRTU, muya bottom. GPRTU, muya juma egu Ghana, ye bottom. Ghana Private Road Transport Union. Yanka say Ghana Public Road Transport Union. You say Ghana Private Road Transport Union. Now, muye juma egu botoma muni bank. Mu pelona mu members in the bank ni and the interest rates are dropping. Inflation are dropping. And then now say GPRTU union and yes mutima. By now you should be able to bring in about 5,000 buses GPRTU dia. You are still relying on cars that are not roadworthy. And a mode muwako territory say where the association members for car. Majority of the cars are GPRTU cars in Ghana. They are all not roadworthy. About 90% of GPRTU cars saying Ghana, they are not supposed to be on our roads. GPRTU at this point, you can go for loan. You are a private road union. Go for loan. Munko loan amuntia interest. Na muye sika, da bena moye adwuma for transport minister ne the deputy abetena say, ye sales nie. Da bena moye adwuma intiansan tam taxpayers money mamo. Mwangasa no mwetwa mo ho agye sika. Mo sa say yansan tam aban sika mamo. Na mo na mo hu say ye jimi ana. You people, you don't respect Ghana for, right? And I don't blame you people. It is all because the government of the day, what the government is doing, they are not doing enough. They need to bring in more buses. Now, sir, Ghana say a GPRTU, near Bremwase, you will start respecting and going by the rules. In the MPP, I heard this guy, Esiama, Kere Japan boy na, Sebio Kere Japan abuano wo politics him. Krono oboy nyina Kere Japan e protecting no. This guy, on the minister in charge under MPP. Kronphobia nenense your friend Siama Odiba Omiechi. Kere Japan's boy. Time na our port or in charge of transport. Oko Ghana Shippers Authority. Or in Kere Japan Ireno, the board chair of Ghana Shippers Authority. This criminal. Buankra Inland Port scandal. No, this was the guy who was leading. Me sir, you turn buses scandal. This was the guy who connived with the former chief of staff, Fremont Parry, and I'm calling Sabas to buy $17,000 bus. Or I just say 70,000. This guy, your friend is Siama Odiba Omiechi. I didn't tell Odiba Omiechi. Or Pesaba Omiabedi president, Nakwasi Penny was Sakosha Hobium. Sabas is a can want some yina. Almost Sakogu, Ashanti region, other regions are, and almost she buses now, almost say a quinina a aquawia. Kere Japan about politics him. Kere Japan a lobby man say kwasha transport. Nebu ami Kere Japan said a beya medeme koko fosuno ebedru porta. Mintia taxes akesie. That is why they made this guy move to transport. So this guy was at the transport ministry. It was during this guy's era and Kere Japan yesika. Because Kere Japan bedru porta. Ne small boy na transport minister. At the port, you cannot go against the transport minister. And at this point, Sikana Unyayano or the support by Omia or Sikana dia bottom. Today, as we speak, Akwa Sika, the Sikane support by Obia, and the original stage, I know Kennedy Japan attempts Kennedy nim nyansa, on to me to mine. And so Kennedy ne hu nyansa, Eka so uncle Tinaport no Yesika, Emma or no, and then a year, and then Kennedy year, the board chair of Ghana Shippers Council. This guy made Kennedy's wife the board chair. MP before omo nyina se mo gimi here ade so sorry anopa dware se ma hohoro me koto aba ma MPP a wo yo dwan penanim kromfu tatua mo aboaten we transport ministry anything and saying Kennedy Japan but say Kennedy ka say hein esiama Kennedy made this guy who he is today sika efa ni nsem ne krono mo boye through the Ministry of Transport Kennedy and then the share hono sika owia ene nyomo ye Kennedy entina ye Kennedy ya and then say hey who esiama kwasi ampanyi esiama dia me ye ya me do share transport ministry but Kennedy they do some time okasa to say akwa share transport ministry no one report wo Kennedy cause say akukọ force akukọ kontwa na ode abegu tema port na akwa we transport minister no my instructions na Kennedy twifemization no twifem Adiachi so see the biggest cold store in Ghana. Now say me ba Ghana me ko temako hu ne dan bi. Say sorry yo, say ye die yo. E dan o say 33 bedrooms. Na me say what about them? Ebono wa. Ebono wa pe ark e ma di pa ko tinem. E dan e si on say phone wo. Say e die yo. Me the midrive e twa e dan no na me say I sorry we dey for any say he. Kennedy dia e wotema. Me say na se sa dia we asori dan o say a retirement home me say akwa we pa akwa e be on watch no obo on the 9 obo watch on the 9 so this guy transport sector na a collapse no e siama hwediti mumbusa akwa we say for the 8 years Kennedy lobby here the share transport ministry e dey retooling no ye one retool the Ghana transport sector. He didn't do it. On the focus, the Shippers Authority or Shippers Councillor or the Kennedy also as board and the port. That was the time you who say a month for it to me misrepresented. Obi to me kofa a whole container of enkoko oba no label to say matches. Obi to me kofa angwa. Obi to kofa angwa 40 feet 80 feet. Oba no label to say a napkin. And this guy, that was how they were making the billions. It is all steady. Time Akwawe, transport minister, Nakere Japan was one of the biggest importers of nkoko into Ghana. Because na emwe biye. Na emwe biye. Emu no ka say obiye the biggest cold store. This guy, Esiama, and the Odiba Omiechi Busa, who says Sikana Uria, I didn't know like Odiba Omiechi. I feel the one who say Kennedy Jimmy. Nitrimono Kennedy Niminyansa. Nitrimono Kennedy to me to Chiremai. On it, slimy, slicky, intelligent criminals benanti into the Odiba Omiechi. And then I Kennedy Akuma ya. I Kennedy Nakuma ya. Emma, and the Oya campaign bia. Na o say Adentina Esiama ye Messiah. Messiah, what do you have for me? I just saw it. What do you have for me? GPRTU stands for private road, the major road trade. Messiah, my team this me read you in Chiramo. Team. All right, let me read it. I'm gonna say I should clarify something on GPRTU. I'm gonna say GPRTU stands for Ghana Private Road Transport Union, a major trade union in Ghana representing commercial drivers, vehicle owners, and transport workers involved in regulating fares, working conditions, and advocating for its members within the country's public transport system. It is a significant body within the Trades Union Congress and plays a crucial role in negotiating transport fares, adjustments, and ensuring standardized operations across Ghana's roads, as seen in their announcements regarding fare changes and policy implementation. So it clearly shows GPRTU, if they are under TUC, then they should be able to go for loan. It's a union. Government is not supposed to take money and give to GPRTU, because when GPRTU works, they don't don't pay anything to the government. We want to see from the time GPRTU was formed, how much have they contributed to the government, to us as a nation through a year contribution. GPRTU, all that they do is you have to petrol, they say there, you have a transit. Yeah, Baba G first for Abai, ya Persia G say, Abai say Stramo, Modia Monteso. That is all that they do. They keep heckling with government back and forth. Oh, ya Persia protecting commercial drivers, ya Persia protecting private drivers. It is ya to petrol mono dear, Sesiano, ya Persia tum, ya ti petrol so dia, ya Persia be negotiate. That is what they do. They have used a negotiation as the tool to intimidate governments. GPRTU, that's what they do. It's basically a negotiating association or a negotiation association. What they do, they negotiate. And all that they do is that they wait. When there's increment in fuel, they will come out quickly and say, yes, so they make their money when they push the government to the wall by increasing their fares. That is how they make money. And the funny thing is, when they make money, it does not come back to government. So GPRTU is a private organization. It is not any government institution that would demand for budgets. Say you could read the budget, ni 2 million Ghana, 4 billion is to GPRTU. Now ejuma be na moyama Ghana for yemfa 4 billion mamu. So to make it easy, this guy, Mamenjina Nsubiemu, Esiama, Kumasi Airport. Akwa when a catch the Ghana for say or a road or a transport minister. Omakwa international airport no boa. Akwa we or a cromfo. It was under this guy. And Okofa O2 for besi apatase o Kumasi. Okofa Mampon he besi apatase. Or sister I him for him besi apatase say Obebie Kumasi Airport say international airport. And on it the guy who died very soon Paul Adamochi. On an conference Omu Yina catch say, oh, we are on the Kotoka International Airport board, and the told O2 for say, and there ye change Kumasi Airport, din ayano, Prempe International Airport. Kotre dia krambesi ho, kotre dia. As I'm paying you when I said, me say, it was under this guy as the transport minister. On the Kotam O2 for Bessia Patasi Kumasi. Okota Mampon na Debri Fedue, Edibesi apatase. Or Tisa Santin Mabesi apatase. Or there Santifon Pedifobego apatase say, Kumasi Airport will change dino. Your friend of Prempe the DND International Airport. Emum plane be free UK Airba Ebesiwa. United Airline Babisiwo, Delta Babisiwo, DND KLM. And Ozan Santifon in Azao 2-4. Owie no kon kran sin kwase afo na mo international plane da. Sana kwa we ye. Ebesin ne. From 2023, 2024, 2025, your 2026, no international airline and SEO Kumasi afa nipa kwa abruchi. Na what to be deep matem. Nipa na oya MPP ni obu so ya kwasea. Omu. Still onam Kumasi so oya campaign. Mena oka say Samere. Onam Kumasi da Kumasi fo biem because ono child ni kro hu sasantifo ejimi. Into ono Samere under omu watch ni kunia vice president no. They came to lie to the king of Ashanti. Asante for Hinekasi no. Samere ni kunu eba Asante me beka chom say be sia Portamao. Enti fa na ba akudi mbra na emfa nto so. Wedwa. MPP for beka chom tumfo say ye be sia Portamao. Una nanum na omowu no yiba akopedi mbra na emfa nto airport no so. E na otumfo kwa akonwa dem. The black stool room. Akonwa dem anadwofa no mu bie pono no kre. Ena otumfo bie pono no nana eja bibia okopedin ama MPP dia beto international airport so. Ena nana bie pono no nana no mada. Nana no samanfo kra da 2 o'clock. Ye nana no makọ nsiedo nkonwa ne omodia omada omomu ye quiet time ready na otumfo MPP for da otumfo oh nana me do chenchen hene me na mabe nana me do. Mama nkyerɛkyerɛ na nana nom de bi magimi. MPP for siama ne nkɔfo Paul Adomo Kufuor do bawomia. Omo ka kyerɛ otumfo sɛ anadwofa 2 o'clock mema ne mbɔmpa ho. Nana frantuma tuntum na ma santenna na ko bie abam kasie num. Na bie nkonwa dan nim. Na kopedin bra na de akye de beto nana. Oh, me bese a magaji bi asem no. A serious matter. Eno otumfo Lady Julia Eda wa no hu se o de nsa to mpan na na ho Oh, say ma mo offer de say me yere. Omo da omo do mo sa to kunu so. Enti Lady Julia wada kakra na odane ne ho de nsa to nana. Ode ne nsa to wa nana nda ho. Nana frɛ eye lion. Lion wi akokoti nana frɛ lion. Ene abrafo akese se asam kese besi asante. Ye kofa ye nana dimbra. We anadwofa tu. Ewifo nyina da. Asantema omo monum codeine, omo monum red. PZ4 boys ewifo dodo nyina da. Emma Otumfo frɛ lion. Mr. S, get me lion's picture. We got. Make you mama we message wo bodam. The MPP there asantema no. Just say betra kwa na me ho adwiri me. I'm drillized. My body has drillized me. Emma Otumfo sorry 210. You can say mama name pound 215. 28. 38 seconds Otumfo sorry. Lady Julia tren nsa nana na ho. And I said, na him na nafa. Into her camera nim no na CCTV na etu a phantom no. And also de nana ohun lion wo honto so de nana ebi okodi dwuma bi. And Lady Julia blanket papa yi or the kata no na pa or die. Enti nana et phantom nim. Sa na dwono flag na bo pa 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 pa. Nana tu karo okope didi abetu Kumasi airport so anaju 210 Asantema flag is so yellow and green elo 242 phantom no abeka siem yakoji din aba into 143 38 seconds or 24 be abandan no ya nana no mukura da ya nana no mo ye quiet time omo asebio omo bompa ya ma santeman omo Otumfo ko disturb nana no obi epono no lion mu gina bontene omo twe bafo e twan oba de be wo tirim nana ko gi din aba me da beto Kumasi International Airport so Otumfo nso ade ya soma santeman kotoko hene onsuro bibia na obowura ba mu owura the stool room, the black stool room emo ye tum Otumfo akukuduro ebema kese ebema otinso ansa na wahram sebi okuta pia won ha ena Otumfo sa akuta eye bodua ena owuro no nananom ena se nana edie na anadwo fan wabeduru ha Otumfo akukuduro nana mbo ya mia ena Otumfo nananom asempa aba asempa pa bia nu na be se oye se na Otumfo nana ba ko oye ndisi ni enti Otumfo ka se nananom asem papa ba e wona ba ko jesu asem papa bi abati ave se oye so on relate ekufuado ana nananom se ye nana we dia santeman so yie we de no kure ene bibia achicha santeman e de nana dwufan we pia ha e de no mo etum e ho wo so de Otumfo bagi din akoto international airport so abako se bani o ena nananom ka se ene ye nana kasa na dia open ye be yama because asanteman da on south or 32 as me nananom me pedin ye dia koto ye airport so na MPP ahye ye bo esiama obo esiama din wo edem akonwa tuntum dem obo ni din o se nananom eye esiama ne MPP fo ekufo ado ne ba wo miamo omo se omo de ye airport na ene de membegi din na ye mfa nkoto so ena ye nanam ka se ne nana Otumfo kotoko hene kata wani ena Otumfo kata nani okuta pia ena ne nsa benkum okuta bodua ena sebio nana ehine ntoma kakra no wakyekere ena waye din no kata nani ena ye nananom edi omo adwene bomu Mrs. na edin ne dem Mr. P because I want to mention the right name they gave him ena ye nananom eka omo ti bomu ena omo say yemma ye nana edin a emu odu edin a yesom a edi asanteman echi asoma santeman a santeman for sa din endi agro nti Otumfo gina nana so 45 minutes 38 seconds okuta pia wa ha no okuta bodua edan mu ose emu otum ba Otumfo eye akukuduro ene akukuduro okuta no nti na Otumfo ntehwe wakata ni ena otwa nananom yes bes nti dan wo nyina yesewe unhu bibi hwa sa wotena edan mu ugina edan mu atum na wo ntehwe na wote na wodi mene na nananom wo kasa unya akukuduro te sa sante kotoko hene Otumfo a otu nyina sa dan nim emu ayetum nti oho ɛna ɔte sɛ yɛ nana ɛna ɔsɛ nana no mate yɛpɛ sɛ yɛma wo din na fa kɔkɔma MPP foɔ na ɔmfa saa din no ɛnto ɛyɛ deɛn Mr. S, Mr. P, get me the right name. Prempe ɛna ɔm say woni bibi wo nana prempe yɛ obi a asante da na koma so wabɛka yɛn ho ha na mmom na koma ɛda asante yɛpɛ sɛ yɛde wo nana prempe a sebio wasoma asante din ɛto ɛyɛ airport no so na dwumadi a wadi deɛ wahyɛ animonyam wakyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ asanteman yɛ asanteman otumfo kuta pia wɔhini ntoma ɛna okuta bodua ɛna ɔmo ka to na sum sata me no kasa yi me no kasa na abɔntene hɔ 2:43 am na lion so gyina abɔntene hɔ twɛn okuta bafo waba n'anum lion so gyina abɔntene ɔno oba obetwa wuti nti ɔmo ka kyerɛ otumfo sɛ airport no ka kyerɛ NPP for sɛ edi yɛ pɛ sɛ yɛde to so ɛyɛ wo nana prɛmpɛ ne yɛpɛ sɛ wɔn te aseɛ sɛ yɛ dɔw saa time mi ka sɛ 2:48 pm ewiem ayɛ kusu otumfo kuta pia ɔsa kuta bodua no wɔhim ne ntoma ɛna ɔsɛ fa edi ne kɔ ɛyɛ prɛmpɛ the first wo nana odin kan a ɔyɛ prɛmpɛ yɛmfa nto so yɛgu so nsa ɛna nanam mpanifoɔ ɛnyina twa otumfo nhyia ɛna ehum mframakɛseɛ bɔɔ na nana gyinam nana woso no ho sɛ nana woso no ho sɛ na mframa no yɛ din ɛhɔ no otumfo pie ɛna ɔsɛ ɛyɛ prɛmpɛ the first adeɛ kyiɛ na otumfo frɛ Akufo Addo ɔfrɛ ba obi ka sɛ edi no yɛ nananom sɛ mopɛ sɛ airport no modi edin to so a ɛyɛ prɛmpɛ the first nti ɛhɔ ɛna adeɛ patututu otumfo bampɔn hene Bawomia any MPP for frɛ no ɛka kyɛm sɛ ɔmo nkɔtena apɔtase na yɛmfa edin no ɛnto ɛyɛ airport no ɛna ɛyɛ esiama ɛyɛ lion mu anɔpatututu lion mu nyina bɔ odwa ɛgye bafo ɛwi akokɔ ti ɛkɔto wɔ mu yam sɛ ɔmo bɛboa ama Asante enya international airport saa kwa we afrɛ esiama ɔno na di MPP fo anim ɛkɔtwa otumfo atoro entra kɛseɛ ɛna me no ka sɛ Prempeh International Airport plane baako mpo nsi hɔ plane baako esi ayɛ nananom ɔmo baa mu ɔmo bu ofu yie yɛkɔto aba no ɛne na ma ayɛ nananom yi ɔmo nsafiri aba no so ɛno na ma ɛyɛ Asante abosom yɛ nananom ka sɛ ɛyɛ MPP deɛ sune nti ɛyɛ Asantema abosom yɛ nananom abo MPP dua saa kwa we the cover problem ne bae nti sɛnɛ wohwɛ me a abakɔsɛm ɛtaa akyire no ayɛ adebia no kanokore o kanokore a onyame nso ɛbɛtie wo yɛgyina mu Transport Ministry edema we pia. Professor Nana Opoku Agyeman ema efutuo enso ka kire Ghana for de wo se eba transport nsema ayeye. Hwe ma me panyini na no ene brofo.
Encourage you to do more and assure you that whatever we need to do to ensure that your work is successful, we will do that. Well done. Part of the major reason for being here was to respond to the pressures in the system regarding commuters. What is happening is that we are seeing undue long queues, frustration, and delays. So we needed to find out what was going on and how to solve the problems. Earlier on today, we were privileged to meet with the unions, and they also told us, in part, their story. Their meetings were not over, and we know that when everything is said and done, we'll get a full sense of what their own inputs are in dealing with the problem. So we're very, very happy to have been part of that discussion this morning. We believe that when problems occur, the solutions should be shared. The responsibilities are ours, and the achievements are ours too. so we don't run away from responsibilities. And when there are events that, directly affect citizens, that is something we need to respond to quickly, because it's the people we are working with and for. And I keep saying that we're not even working for anybody. We are working with people. So their input, what their situation is, what they are going through, all of this should be of primary importance to us. And this explains why we spent part of today doing this. I want to assure you that, yes, I hear the numbers of what was burnt, what is under repair, and so on and so forth. And I want to assure you the promise that our president has made. He's going to work quickly on supplying high occupancy vehicles to agencies. And these agencies include the State Trans or the Metro Mass. They include Ayalolo, so you should be happy about that. And they also include the private sector. You know that about 90% of transportation in this country is fielded by the private sector. And we also know that, like your agency, they've also not had any support in the last 10 years. So we have a bit of a problem, not a bit, actually a big problem to do with public transportation in this country. And
now when you listen to this woman, Otiema Amiwe so kasa. Now yetina Ghana man kwasiafo obedi yeso. Nyanse bia ni omutrim. Listen to this woman. How she's articulate. How she thinks about things before she says them. How she respects the people listening to her. Upon all the credentials are or carry on her back, her leadership qualities, then you tell me, say, Akwawe.
People of Cape Coast, I have good news for you. We are building a new harbor in Cape Coast and a new airport in Cape Coast. It is very critical that we do that. An airport makes a lot of sense in Cape Coast. It's a real tourist hub, and between Greater Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast, you have a triangle that really is a lot of hub of economic activity. You can build railway lines between people of Cape Coast.
And there's a simple question because Baumia is not responsible. Me say. Sasebu yokai. Miami kromu fantifu okachom so be airport amom after oma otufo ko ekowura a black stool there no osako Cape Coast okachom say mosumesi airport amamo. And obusa the question where MP for beka just onye nipa ntime musa no. And minim say MPP for na komia atachia omu nyina nim so Baomia onye nipa battery na share to or updated version 1979 ye no. Listen to Nana Opoku-Agyeman and listen to Baumia. And how can we say vacancy for Abadaho into Yama Baumia bedi? Nana Opoku-Agyeman kwa kase the agency on Tranchain na Obimbe show and by president be vice. Why should anybody consider Mahamudu? Why should any reasonable person consider Mahamudu? Why? And the Oba Ghana, me say politics no. Some people want to say politics ni year. Some people say who the air Ghana. This is the real politics. We know say muhu say the real politics in any.
What did you say? Who? What did you say? Who? So 450. Above from. Who? Echo.
Mama started to this and slow. I have fala.
What did you say? Who? What is it? Who?
Mama, I know the yo. Mama, say, this is now 300. I am a person. 450.
Wahoo. So wahoo. 450.
300.
Above from.
And before, this is the politics. We almost hear degree. Almost hear some of it. Piece of a piece of a. They don't care about what you say tomorrow on news file. They don't care about the other kind of TV3 so hot issues so at the end. What they care about is their whole affect you positively. Finished. And these people no we know who amusano. So we are the end so many. Nasa aban ho chire na omo betiase. They will understand. They will reason with the government. Because omo nim say aban no onya ketewa no omo mu bi onya kese no omo mu bi nti aban no kraduru bebi na aban no ho chire na aban no ne omo kasa Ghana for betiase. That is what you people MPP you are missing. Mo Jimmy Ghana for nim say as aban ho to me chire no aban to me ekoyie nti esia no omo nim say aban we onya kese no omo mu bi. And aban we edrum brebna no ho chire no oka chire mo say aho chire ba mo ma nyina yen kom kakra Ghana betiasie. That is the way you govern a nation. Yeah. Inti mun kwase son of the titi. Ochina mo Google news file no so na mo tete nkran kwase sam no. We they don't care about you. Abana mo to ya na mo to ma John Mahama no. John Mahama ka kire mo say na petrol bo no wo soro o de aba fom ene na hi omo. John Mahama say na eduane bo den o de aba fom ene na hi omo. Na John Mahama say nyoma bia omo kwan assess no or the big push aba obie kronum e kwan no say Ghana is under construction omo ni tua omo tu kwan sebia eh dia omo ko bank small banks omo save wo ho no and omo kwa interest rate no form omo tumi gi loan mo yere nom women's bank na eba enti sankwa sia na mabetena news file ekeka interviews ekeka brofo church on Facebook say omo kai wo brofo no ono enfa no wo. The governance needs to trickle all the way down. The government has put money in their pockets. Abind the sika, Asha Ghana for bottom. What did your kind of? Or say first, no. Now me talk idea with gallon baku diesel 450 Ghana, and then me talk the 300. Abind the 150 Ghana shed bottom. Faculty of school fees. It is a multi Facebook. Now multi news file. Now but the TV so abino Ghana for Sikabesho abino the Sikasha Ghana for bottom every single day. The government is putting money in the pockets of the citizenry. John Mahama's government is injecting money in people's pockets. It is a more MPP for Montiasia no. Mwejimino. Mojin said 1992 politics and away the Antiasia Bibia baby amompe me pese me busa MPP for question. Right now petrol. We are buying petrol $9.99 no. Moko filling station I am kasi yembuma 17 na in 9. From the party leadership to the last person, Jimmy. And then you top petrol $9.99 no. Some yire no kokrom na so omutu omuka kwa. Omuka che petrol station say MPP for 17 Ghana. Enkwasiafo. You are still enjoying the $9.99 petrol. And later and you are stupidly sitting on TV and telling me, say, NDC, MPP, there, NDC, Nyadia, oh, bot down. Now, me just some mobile party card at the Kojina filling station, say, media me miracle abuaje, me a former DC, I'm Korea Sika, a pamome, but Omia Crampo, right now, we're relegating me, me any spokesperson, me top petrol, me MPP card ni, into Mumbu a letter 17 Ghana, mame. Why I want no sa fork, Guasiafo, and Omugu social media. What is the Ghana for, you know? The Ghanaian is actually benefiting from the Mahama government. And I say, Abainbiaba Edisika to Ghana for Botoma. This is what the government is doing. The government is leaving a lot of money in the pockets of people. In the 150 now, Akano, a branch to school fees. And that is what we talk about governance. And then the governance, no. And yes, about me Santini, me Yokoni, me Angrani, and a Mahama. Sankwa Siadiano, and Sa Ghana Niajini. Dear Yanisa Ubewu, very soon. Wa wunim osofo aka kire oda yare edidi wo widiem obepro wa wunim enti mombra mu asna mombo mo last mpaye What Jimmy do? You still don't get it. Ghana ni na oten tambure mu no. Ono sa koko kwani and as auto diesel ed sparking the machine and I say auto petrol and obina auto western region okopo auto diesel edigu ne kanu odi ande mu no ne moto mu na ode fa eposo no so okọ na se ka se mahama tesu se ya eno na ote ase onim se aban na ye bibia ma no aban ne hye ne bo aban ne di so into do point na aban ne ka che ne se unim samu diesel na moto no ye se yemfa $1 bi into 1 cedi into so ana 2 cedis into so every say nyome mo ayedin na yen hwe mfa tintin nyoma sa afarini no obeye every say aban na kanokura kire no. Governance is about being honest to the people. Being honest with the people. Governance is not about Jimmy okuta ikabrofo edada nipa. That is what you people don't understand. This government, ade omo ye nyina ne se omo di nukura kire Ghana fo. Enti so omo kire omo a, na so omo ka nukura kire Ghana fo a, Ghana fo na omo be fa janim. And that is what you people don't know. Eno na bawumia nim, eno na monkwasiafo we mu nim, eno na MPP nim. Your party is built out of lies. Omo kasama mo kura, omo ntumi nka no kore. Na nka wo the politician na odi party na we jimi no, wo na wo tinche na wo se, wo dia wo kasa on Facebook, wo kasa on Twitter, wo kasa no kaka no kore no. Now just mrantie we. They care about what you are saying on Facebook. Say kwasi ampe you she KGB obi di wo yire wo Ghana. Na wo to kasa ma aban no, aban de enye. Ono sa onye so odwon kwasi wo ho. Na wo bra papa bi bo anko antena Ghana mbo. Oti America, oti bon community basement. Em obi di wo yire e wa asylum down. Odo kwasi ya eye Ghana ne de. Small boy na di wo yire. Small boy. A very young boy no di wo yire. Wo so sorry a wunya aduane ndi. Wo sorry a wuntumi bie. Wo so a ye unya sika bia ndi. Wangasa wo hwe wachi wo fie a sika 100,000 Ghana kura nda ho. Woto wa akoma ebo obi di wo yire. Wo beka no kura che Ghana fo no do kwase ate wo se me ya santiri ya MPP ni. Ne so obi gino ho. Wo yare na edidi wo mu no. Ene yare na edidi wo mu. Esoso wo da ya wuntumi na unim se obra obi achim wo kon awie dada ubewu. And this is what we are talking about. Abaino Ghana. The government is putting money in the pockets of Ghanaians. Obidu yire otantra heroes enfa. Kwasia anadwumi no ka sei, ochire Saturday, o yire kwa koma ne sister. Obidi no. Because okotisa. Me no ka sei oti kroma, tafre kro onya ntafre no to. Obi ti o yire so ekenyan. Obidu yire ti America wa wuntumi nkofie. Na o stress ne beda so a na o betwa ntro akire Ghana fo na o be ya kasesem I won stress nti akasi aka ofo okon na aka obi di yire esidi to boasini ba obi di no abuofunu yanko yanim bra mo be brero obi di yire do jimitia. Now this is a story I want us to talk about. Moka adewe 2016
Dedi kama mamena pendulum TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, pendulum TV.